to. When I train my students to use the line board, one of the habits I really want them to learn, besides pressure releasing, what you're seeing here, is move the board. Move it. Your job is to find where the low is all the time. You can see highs. You can see right there's a little bit of low and a little bit of a pinch there. So I'm going to lightly just tap that back down and kind of just work that crown down at the bottom and open it up. If you don't move the board, you're not going to see everything. And that goes not just with a line board, any board. Move your board when you're learning. If you learn to move your board, you're going to see more things than you thought were there. It's also a good idea to switch sides. Don't just get comfortable working from your favorite side. You might be right-handed, so you're working from your left side, tapping down, or you might be just setting up on your right side, pushing with your right hand, but you really should be switching sides just to counterbalance the dent, make sure it stays nice and even. I also thought it's really important that you watch a lot of this detail, what we are looking at, what areas I'm pushing on, what's left. Because this is kind of important right here, is this process, it's almost done. I moved the board again. I'm looking for lows. Guys, I am really looking for lows. I'm kind of moving that board and I'm looking, okay, let me see the center there and let me see the fat spots that I missed right here. And that gives me an idea of where to push, guys. So keep moving it. It's very important that you see the details of this stuff. And just keep in mind as you get better, that tooltip is going to get smaller. I recommend don't go straight to a metal tip, because you will pock the metal up if you're not careful. I like to go to a sharper plastic cap. Those yellow root beer ones work great. Or you can use, what I'm using here is the dent dial with a tip on there too as well. So just giving you a heads up, once you get it down from that point, switch sides, keep moving that board and look for little lows. You can still see there's two little pits in the body line. Okay. Now we'll come back to this part in just a moment. Now what we're really going to do is focus on the crown. Now that I got most of that part of the dent done, I can come back and get to that later. I'm going to work on these crowns, these hidden crowns. Now let me stop it right here for a sec. Notice the slight pinches on the outside. This pinches, these skinny lines, they're actually buckling and showing a low spot in front of it right here. If you tap these crowns down, you'll start seeing those low spots come up evenly, actually just raising the low spot, because it's playing tug of war. The lines are pulling. It's like pulling a sheet and someone's laying down on it and you're pulling the sheet up. So you have a low spot on the bottom and then a pinch on the top. Now I'm going to keep drilling this. Keep moving your board. Always look for the best way to see the crown or the low spot. You can see I tilted the board and it brings out that pinch more right on the outside, and then you can see that low too. See that pinch right there in the corner, right there in that top? That's where we want to focus on. These lows will actually release even more once I get those crowns out. You have to be aware when you're tapping down the crowns after you've already released a lot of pressure below, the crowns are going to want to come out. And when they come out, you want to go very slow with this type of tap down, because if you don't know what you're doing and you're going too fast, you can put little micro lows in there, and then that's going to cause more work for you. The crown definitely wants to go down. Okay, I'm actually going to stop this and then I'll take a clip of the whole thing and speed it up. Check it out. I started with this red tip and it didn't quite seem to give me enough push that I wanted. So what I ended up doing is switching to a soft tip, the ultra soft tip, the black cap, and like you see here, and that gave me more coverage area and it was safer to tap down because it wasn't as sharp. And as you can see, it's just coming out very clean, very nice. I'm just kind of balancing it back and forth. I want to tap right on those little skinny lines, those curvatures, and get that out. And that's going to release a lot of pressure and allow me to push that low down here on the left. And that's why I'm tapping down these crowns, because I don't want to see any wave in it anymore. Okay, so there you go. So the black area right here, this fat line right there, that's a low. That's where we're going to concentrate to push. And down right below on the bottom is a low. See where it curves like that? That's where I want to start pushing and start straightening out with my tooltip. Now this tooltip I'm about to show you on the Anaconda is very unique. If you can order this, it's going to take a while, but it's well worth it. It is a leather tip, round tip that bevels, that pivots right around like that. It keeps the tooltip completely flat as I push. It's really, really nice, and it pushes the lows very evenly without making push marks. I really, really like that tool. I'm surprised more tool companies have not come up with this type of tip. It's very balanced, and I think you'll really, really like it if you can get it. Now I did make some missed pushes right here. I got a little bit of tightness on the bottom, if you notice right there by that by the body line just above it. So I gotta tap it down, set it up. Anytime if you make unwanted high spots, go in there and correct it, because if you don't correct it, what happens is you start ignoring it, you're gonna have more highs, and then when more highs mix with lows, you're going to have a lot of distortion. Try to keep your dent clean. Try to keep the highs mixing in with the lows and the lows mixing with the highs. Get rid of one thing or the other. That's what I love to do, and that's how I keep my dents clean as I go.